Hello, I'm Professor Julio Rezende. I'm from Brazil, and today is March 8th, 2021, and we'll be talking about how would be the operation of the main station on Mars, okay, as part of a Mars station or a Mars habitat. Okay, we have a lot of topics to be discussing in this presentation. And first of all, we design a plan about how would be the this station uh, on Mars. This station is we are considering a complete crew around 24 or 28 astronauts shared in main 7 facilities. In this case, I will be talking deeply about how would be the main station, and the main station is supposed to be the first model to be operational on Mars. Okay, and this presentation I'll be exploring 5 dimensions. The first dimension is related to internal design. In this case, we read a collaboration of Brazilian architecture student. Her name is Mariana Guerra. Also, we have read a lot of women participating in the missions. Also, today is the International Women Day, and we'd like to congratulate all women engaged in the space studies. And then Mariana Guerra proposed to the operation of the main station, not one model, as you can see here. She proposed a hexagonal design of the shape of the model, not something circular, but a hexagon. And she proposed not only one model, but 3 models. And then these 3 models would be integrated, okay, as you can see here, according to the shape. And this one model will be called alpha, and the second beta, and the third model would be called gamma. Okay, in the alpha model is for the prolonged usage. It's also a silent sector. Is also for resting. The second model, the beta model, is will present a medium use. Is for social use and also entertainment. And the third model is a working area. Is for scientific research and also the other working operations. Then in the first model, in alpha model, we have the bedroom, the study room. The second model, we have the kitchen, the dining room and living room. In the third model, we have functions as training, control, mission control, and also the research room. Okay. And then in alpha model, in this case, we have the 3 levels, as you can see here. Okay. In the first model, will be shared 13 bunks. Okay. It's a we have in the main station a place where all astronauts become together to have social activities. They also sleep together. They also keep the interaction. But because of our proposal in this mission, also is happening a threat of a virus, and then the astronauts stay locked in the specific facilities. But normally, without a threat of a virus in our station, that the astronauts become together in this building where we have the 13 bunks shared in these 3 levels. Also, there is a place for luggage storage, also the bathrooms, and also a study area. And then we are considering also the presence of some vertical garden, also plants, to bring more nature to the station. We are considering that it's interesting presents some plants in all facilities for some reasons. The first reason is related to evaluate the air quality. The second is brings nature to space habitats. This is related to psychological well-being and also less stress and more healthy. Also, the possibility of vegetable production, bringing practicity and easiness to prepare fresh meal, and also the concept pick and eat. Okay, like the some spices to be used in the food. Also, the plants would be used to help to meditation. It's also in this first facility that I'm talking. There's a dormitory, also the reading study room. And then here in these two photos, it's possible to see the astronauts. The first photo using a book, and in second photo using an electronic book. And then we can imagine in the station will be operational, maybe uh, uh, thousands of terabytes of data related to ebooks and music and videos to entertain the crew. And then this is a very important topic in terms of how to keep the astronauts mentally healthy. Okay, and the second model is the beta model. Okay, is the main goal of this area is for the entertainment. In one of the levels presents the kitchen and dining room. In this case, there is a table for 10 people. Also, in the second floor, the living space. In the third floor, the gym. And there is in this photo, it's a virtual environment developed by Michael Lowry in the Second Life, and I was invited to visit this area. And then is interesting because he in his conception he presented like a swimming pool, a small swimming pool. Also, it's possible to see some music instruments here. And then would be interesting we have something like entertainment area. Okay, also there is in this on other level there is the kitchen. In the kitchen it's possible to see some vertical garden here, also using led lighting. Also it's interesting to see this robotic kitchen in a technology called Mole. It's a real company provided this kind of robotic cooker. And then this robot is presents some functions like uh, immerse learning in terms of the possibility to read the labels in the products and to see how much is necessary to add to prepare a meal. Also, there is a screen in the left side here, someone presenting the guideline how to prepare a meal. And then the algorithms would be learning what the person is suggesting in terms of quantities of the ingredients to prepare a meal. And then this is very interesting to our daily lives on Earth, but also to think how a kind of robot like this would be useful to prepare a meal and also support the kitchen activities in the space station. The dining room is this case is presenting 10 seats because of the quantity of astronauts that we are considering around 24 or 28. This would be presenting the turn shifts to have the astronauts during sometimes one turn with 8 astronauts, or other turn with more 8 astronauts, something like this. And also the gym. And then the gym area is very important to keep the healthy of the astronauts. It's interesting to see a lot of photos from the International Space Station, the astronauts doing exercise. One of the reasons is to avoid the bony losses, also the muscular losses too. This possible situation on space. Also on Mars, the gravity is a third compared to Earth, and then is it's a better situation when compared to International Space Station, but still dangerous for the health of the astronauts. And then they will need to do a lot of exercises during the time that they will be living on the Mars station. The third model is the gamma model. Is a working area. Okay, in this case, we present in one level the research room, the other level the training room, and the third floor the control room. In the control room, it's very interesting. See here the possibility of the use of the computer screens, bigger computer screens, with multitasking resources. Also, it's interesting to compare how the panel of the space vehicles presented a evolution during the time. Also, the Apollo panel, also the shuttle panel, and more recently the Dragon capsule that traveled to International Space Station. And then in the Dragon capsule, it's possible to see a multitasking screen with multitasking resources. And then this probably will be the like the same resources that will be operating on a Mars station. Okay, and we had developed some reflections about what kind of control would be developed from the main station. In the main station, we will be necessary have something like a system to control what's happening in many in other facilities of the station. Okay, in this case, we have the main station. Then also the main station control information from greenhouse, the power station, the health center, the sanitation center, and here we formulate more what kind of element would be controlled from the main station. If you look the greenhouse, it's important main station knows about some how is the air quality, okay, the levels of oxygen and carbon, also the water demand and consumption, the temperature, also the energy demands, also the soil conditions, also the sensors, if the sensor is working, also in irradiation, development of the plants, if the plants are growing as expected. Also, the how much food had been produced on the greenhouse, because this will be provide guidelines to the kitchen. Okay, and then in the kitchen they will receive information from the greenhouse, mentioned how many potatoes or how many kilos of potatoes or tomatoes were produced in the greenhouse. This is important information for the kitchen and for the nutrition of the astronauts. Also, the main station needs to see information from the health center related to mental condition of the astronauts, heart rate, calorie, how many calories they are consuming, also level of physical activities, and also other healthy elements. Related to the power station, the main station needs to know informations about how the generation of energy, how much energy was generated from the kilopower, also from the solar panels, also the biodigester in the sanitation center and other sources, and how much energy had been consumed in the station, and also the demands. Also, if in the engineering center we are planning extravehicular activity, and we are imagining that the vehicles will be electrical vehicles, and then depends of the distance from the distance to collect the ice or minerals to bring back to the station. It will be necessary more energy for the vehicles, and then we need the main station need to discuss with the engineering center about how the calculus about the demand of the energy to supply the vehicles for the extravehicular activities. Also related to sanitation, we need to know about how much gas was generated, how much energy, also how much sewage was collected, and then from what location, and how much carbon is generated from each specific facility. And then the carbon need to be recycled to be used in the converted to produce oxygen for the astronauts. And then there's a lot of aspects to think about, also sanitation, because sanitation area is the facility responsible to produce oxygen, and water for the consumption of the entire station. Also recycle the sewage, okay? And then it's very important facility for the operation of the entire station, okay? And in the main station also we need to control the levels of water, food, and temperature, humidity, also the exterior conditions. It's necessary to evaluate the external conditions. Is very important to the extravehicular activity. Then this is a we present a great communication with the engineering center, because you need to know about the weather, the temperature, the lightning, conditions of lightning, the wind, the dust, the possibility of dust storm. Because if some in Mars is very common, happens dust storms during many days and covering great part of the planet. And then because of we need to know about this information, the weather information on Mars, to plan the extravehicular activities. Okay. Also, we are planning an extravehicular activity, we need to see the levels of oxygen and energy for the astronauts that will be working in this extravehicular activity. Okay, research room to do some analysis. Okay, and now I will be talking now about the second dimension of this presentation. Is about applied technologies. Here is possible to see some possible machines, and then you can see aboard of the kitchen ovens, fridge, and also the robots to support the food preparation. Entertainment area is the use of virtual reality headsets, Inspire hydro message, disco lightning, in control center, communication technologies, antennas, and then you possibly see a lot of more elements to be considered in terms of the technologies that you need to bring from Earth to Mars. Possible resources to generate in situ or transported from Earth. We can imagine in the main station, almost everything will be transported from Earth aboard of the capsules. Then also part of the food will be produced in the greenhouse, okay? Then you need to combine how much food you need to transport it, supply from Earth, and also how much food you need to produce on Mars in our greenhouse, okay? And this will be a kind of mix between these two kinds of sources of food. The third dimension is about the management of the station. This aspect is more related to the positions. In this case, we are imagining in the main station the activity of commander, the executive chief, the chef, and general assistant. The commander would be someone with a multidisciplinary background, or someone from management or industrial engineering bachelor, someone with high capacity of leadership, intercultural competency, also present a high personal resilience. And some duties of this position is related to control of extravehicular activities and rovers integrated with engineering center, propose routines, operational protocols, provide guidance to avoid risks, also conduct educational activities, preparations for EVAs, also coordinate daily communication routines with agencies, space agencies on Earth, like NASA, ESO, ISRO, or and other space agencies. Also, communication with the facilities, with the crew, and some communication specifically with some astronauts aboard of the station. The second position is the executive chief. This person would be engineer, information technology specialist, or a psychologist. Some activities are the monitor all operations, keep all facilities running, monitor routine maintenance, organize specific operations, responsible people, coordinate training, sometimes online content delivery and follow-up meetings, organize a specific operation with responsible people, stimulate self-sustainability by the crew. And the third position is a very interesting position, is the chef. The chef would be a cooker, a cuisine chef, a nutritionist, or a gastronomer. Some duties of this position is define the menu, the meals, the food logistic, also perform food preparation, waste disposal, clean organization, maintenance, and repair procedures. Also assess the team's nutritional requirements, plan the availability of food, define the feeding shifts. And then it's interesting to see here in this photo the character of Keanu Reeves, the new. The Neo is aboard of the ship Nebuchadnezzar in the movie The Matrix, and he is eating the oatmeal, and he's very upset because all days he's eating the same meal and it's very boring, and he's complaining about. And then this also a discussion that Dr. Cian Proctor, uh, specialist in food, space food. And she was commenting this in one of her presentations. And then it's interesting point of view because we need to have a very interesting meal for the astronauts, because to avoid the fatigue of the meal fatigue of the astronauts. And then it's the food, the meals need to be very interesting and for the astronauts. Because of this, we need to balance the food transported from Earth, okay, pre-prepared meal, okay, and also the food prepared on Mars in our greenhouse. In this case, is a photo of the food produced in the Habitat Marte, in the greenhouse of Habitat Marte in Brazil. It's possible to see the basil, okay, pepper, and also the lettuce. And then it's very interesting. We have like some spices, fresh spices to be used in the preparation of the food, okay, to let more flavor to the food. And the fourth and the last position is the assistant. This would be an engineer, information technology technician, a psychologist, or an artist. Some duties are emphasize the team's well-being, also provide food management, support the chef, coordinate the organization of the dormitory, coordinate the gym, manage laboratory tools, study routines and sample analysis, also apply psychological surveys with the astronauts. And also related to management, we are talking about the necessity of the training of the astronauts. Some topics are new skills based on situations identified on Mars, systems operation, new technologies, positions and tests of fish astronauts, simulations. Also, we looked some videos that would be interesting to train the astronauts. Are videos shared in YouTube, okay, about different topics related to teams work, also mental health, also the music, okay, like he's a video about Baroque music, but would be about heavy metal or rock or electronic, or and then it will be necessary a lot of terabytes of music with all styles to entertain the crew, okay. Also, it's about we think about the occupational safety, also building resilience. Also, it's necessary to think about how much food is necessary for the astronauts. Like we are considering 1 kilo of solid food, and also two liters, two half two half liters by day to drink, and also the same amount to the bath. Also, the main station is providing some guidelines to the entire station related to daily routines, health occupation, also the health and environmental safety guidelines, and about how to maintain plants in specific space habitats. Also provide harmony and collaboration, make astronauts comfortable about to be in space, stimulate cooperation, innovation, creativity, and co-creation, emphasize the well-being, and stimulate self-sustainability. Now I'll be talking about the fourth dimension of the space station is related to protocols. The protocols are, we have some specific protocols related to harmony, to deal with stress, to organize the room, to plant maintenance, also the maintenance, infrastructure maintenance protocols. Also related to health is safety and health, also hygiene protocol, also wearable data collection, like using the Apple Watch. Also, it's necessary protocol related to the health data, also protocols to deal with psychology emergencies, also simulations to deal with accidents. Some also related to occupancy and entertainment. We need to consider parts of celebration days like the Dia de los Muertos in Mexico, or Carnival in Brazil, or Halloween in the United States, or Christmas, New Year's, and also the other activities like spa day or what kind of body games, also the yoga, physical exercise, and also mindfulness techniques, also reading content suggestions based in terabytes of music, movies, and books. And the vertical garden, also in terms of operation of the vertical garden, we need to a protocol for cultivation, for maintenance and detection of adjustments, also food collection, also the rotation and disposal of the plants, also identify best time for irrigation, also male and female follow pollination, also the plant cycle. Okay. The also we are imagining the necessity about to print some tools and some utensils in the main station. It's one of the videos is very interesting about the use of clay to produce ceramics, like you can see here, a possibility of a kind of bowl or plates or mugs, okay, of ceramics. And then this we on Mars, this will be using the regolith, okay, treated regolith to be printing these utensils. And also related to, we need to think about also also related to the 3D printer. Need to think about, we need some projects, okay. Just a moment, sorry. We need some CAD projects to be printing the utensils. Also, a protocol to the recycling these a broken mug or a broken plate. Then there's like some steps would be the discarded items are ground down to particles. Also, ground plastics are further refining into smaller particles in a blender, and then small particles are melted and stirred into plastic filament for 3D printing. And after this, the additive manufacturing printing process with recycled filament. This is a possible technology for plastic. And the last part of the presentation is about the spin-offs. We imagine that some technologies aboard of the station will be important to water saving, energy saving, and recycling. Also, the experience aboard of the Mars station would provide guidelines to Earth related to mental well-being, daily routines and guidelines, health occupancy, also health environmental safety guidelines, also the recycling mindset. At least we can imagine the operation of the main station would provide guidelines, also collaboration to discuss some sustainable development goals related to the health and well-being, training of the astronauts, related to quality education, also the importance of the women participation. In this case, if you have four astronauts, maybe we have two men and two women as astronauts in the main station. Also, the water saving is related to goal 6, the clean water and sanitation. Also, it's very important in the operation of the main station, the energy efficiency, also waste recycling, also management, also partnerships, because we are imagining that we have astronauts from different nationalities in the aboard of the main station. Okay, and then this is my contact. I'll be happy if someone contact me to discuss more about these topics. And okay, and thanks so much.